Hello friends, welcome. So we're going to do a bit of a different practice today. And it's a really foundational practice when it comes to somatics, when it comes to embodiment. Hi Greg, welcome. So this is a practice of cellular breathing. And from the perspective of somatics, embodiment, body-mind centering, which is the work of Bonnie Bainbridge-Cohen, which informs a lot of the embodied flow work, and it comes from the dance world. Bonnie was a dancer. She's in her 80s now, and you can still study with her. She's amazing. And it was through her work and the work of Jana Adler and the work of Andrea Olson, really amazing women within the field of somatics and the field of dance. And through Bonnie's work, we've come to remember or realize or see more clearly that everything first and foremost comes through the cells, that you are made of cells. Everything is cells. And it's through the direct experience of the cells that we are able to slip beneath the mind and the busyness of our kind of surface level noise and come into the direct experience of the cells. So all the information that you're receiving, my voice now, the light, the shapes, everything that your brain is processing and translating and interpreting is first coming in through the cells. All the information comes to the cells first, and it's then translated by the nervous system into thought, concept, image, signifier, signified, all of these things. So by coming into contact with the awareness of the cells, we come into more of a direct experience of reality. And this is why the somatic work is so beautifully aligned with non-dual philosophy. And particularly traditions like Kashmir Shaivism, Dzogchen, which are called direct realization traditions. So within these traditions, you can have a direct experience of reality. So reality before you have a thought about it. Think about it like that. What is reality before you project your concept onto it? What is reality when you take away all of the stories and ideas and concepts and you're just in the experience, in the felt experience of the present moment? And we know this experience. We know this experience from deep meditation, from when we've maybe done a lot of kriyas, when we've maybe done some practices that just land us in that place of pure consciousness, Shiva, the Shiva space. We're in pure consciousness and there's so much peace and there's so much ease and there's so much Ananda Shakti, so much bliss. And that is our true nature. This is the ground of being. This is what all the traditions, whatever tradition you're in, whatever practice you're following, it's all pointing towards that, towards your true nature, or trying to help you to dissolve all of your self-images and identities and ideas of who you think you are, to land you into the truth and the reality of who you really are beneath all of that. And that's why working with the cells is so incredibly powerful, because it's an embodied way into that experience. So we're going to work with cellular breathing today. Now, it's not a movement practice. It's a deep meditation. It's a deep somatic practice, or what we might call a somatization. So you'll need to be in a place where you can really listen. Greg, I'm pretty sure you're going to fall asleep. So that's great, because it's a very, very restful healing practice, incredibly healing, very, very restful. The first few times I did cellular breathing, I just fell asleep. So if you fall asleep, then just trust that that's how you're meant to receive the practice this time around. You can come back to this again and again and again. So find yourself a seat or lying down where you can listen. Find yourself in a place where you can really deeply listen. You might want to prop yourself up in your bed. You're amazing, Greg. You're amazing to be here at 2 in the morning or whatever it is in New York. So propping yourself up, getting yourself comfortable, just taking a minute to do that. And then starting to release your weight. So that sweet settling of your body, that sweet settling of your cells. Allowing all of the watery, fluid, liquid weight of your body, your whole body composed of cells, your whole body composed of water and space and membranes. And know that when I'm speaking directly to your cells. And I'm speaking directly from my cells. So as we're dropping in, I'm dropping down with you. And we're going there together. And just feel the support beneath you and know that you can always come back to that place where all of your membranes, all of the boundary of you meets the bed or the ground beneath you. So just take a moment to really tune into that point of contact, that meeting place. That sense of boundary and support. And we're already dropping in. We're already in contact. And with this practice, sometimes because we are here for a while, sometimes you don't know how deep you're in the mind of the cells until we emerge, and you might not want to move for a while. We go deep. You might start to sense into the vibratory nature of your body. Maybe you can already sense the tingling, vibrating breath of the cells. And this vibratory field is the place from where you came before you were an egg cell in the ovum of your mother's body while she was taking form in her mother's body. Before that, you were pure potential, vibrating in the field of potentiality. Before anything is manifest, it is latent within the field, the vibrational field. This was once you. Going back to the memory of before the before the before. Into the great dark body of time before time we merge. Into the great dark body and the infinite inky field of potential we merge. Remembering the longing to become. But before we took form, we longed to be here. You chose to be here. And the longing within consciousness to know itself as you. The longing longed and you were resting as an egg cell in a sea of stillness. You, an egg cell amongst a sea of other egg cells. You were just in your eggness, still and peaceful. A cell, a watery cell, safe in your membrane, nestled against many other membranes in your egg family. A sea of stillness. Remember the sea of stillness. Maybe you sense the collective expansion and condensing of the membranes that hold the sea of stillness. And then the sperm you, the sperm cell you, with all its dynamism and electricity, with all its movement and its Shakti. It fused with the stillness of the Shiva egg. Movement and stillness coming together in a flash of light. And you became the first shape that really knew how to become you. The single cell you, the zygote you became a zygote. And inside this first origin cell of you held all of the knowing, all of the intelligence, all of the wisdom to become everything that you continue to become. Remember the zygote you. When we slip into zygote consciousness, into the stillness of zygote consciousness, into the knowing of zygote consciousness, you have always known what to do. All of the material of the sperm and all of the material of the egg you unraveled and wove itself together to create this unique pattern within consciousness. Consciousness longed to become you. And in this single cell form, you start to multiply and expand and create yourself out of yourself. And in these first 14 days of your life, there are no blood supplies, there is no umbilical cord. You are doing this all by yourself. And you have the desire to move. You know that you want to move towards the uterine wall and little cilia, helpful cilia hairs push you along, and you start to roll down, roll down, and then you bury yourself in the uterine wall and you hide there for 14 days and no one can see you. But you are warm and light and you are growing. And at 14 days, you send out a hormone, a signal to let your mother know that you have arrived, that you are here. You buried safe, warm, nestled in the womb. With all of your longing to become, with all of your knowing of how to become. And this single cell you is encoded into the trillions of cells that are now breathing, scintillating, shimmering with life. This single zygote consciousness still lives in every one of your cells. This mother cell, your origin cell, you. And beneath your lung breath, your most loyal friend, beneath the breath that you know so well, there is another pulsation of expansion and contraction. And start to listen now, slip into that vibratory pulse of your cellular matrix. Just releasing and relaxing your awareness down into the watery depths of your cells. And trust that my words are already communicating with your cells. Your mind might want to try and do something, but it's nothing to do. Just listening to where you sense the aliveness of your cells. And notice where your awareness goes in your body and just go there. So if you find that there's more activity or sensation or aliveness in, let's say, your intestines, then just listen to that place. Listen to the cells here. And just an open attention. Noticing what you notice. And following the sensation into the deeper vibrational pulse. And know that the cells of your intestines are receiving the invitation to come online. That the membranes are opening and softening to be seen. That the sacred throb and the sacred tremor of the cells is starting to slowly and in its own time reveal itself as you listen with open attention, not trying to make anything happen, not trying to do anything, just listening. And perhaps those cells in your intestines start to radiate out. And perhaps the cells of your stomach or your liver, your spleen, cells within your abdominal sanctuary. Noticing any tingling, just listening. And as we drop into the waters, the still lakes, and the trembling membranes, we drop more deeply into that stillness. Halo of sun, crown of life, still silent sea. The halo of sun surrounding the membrane, crown of life, vibrant, full of yesness. And the still silent sea that is held in the lakes of the cells. And we are with both the stillness and the vibration, softly breathing a membrane, pressing against a membrane, silence bursting with desire, brimming with a charge that electrifies the boundary while inside the lake barely moves. Silence radiating. See if you can plunge a little deeper. Letting your fingers release from the edge, whatever you might be holding onto, so that you can float into the depths of the cells that are contained by the soft inner walls of the membrane. You let go and drop down into this radiant peace inside. Nothing to do, nothing to find, just listening. Just trusting, knowing you're deepening into the experience. It's hard for the mind to know that there's deep and vast experience happening at the cellular level. And that you are simply entering into that experience with the depth and the vastness. Much like the soft, gelatinous pulsing of a jellyfish under the water, your cells are undulating in the inner ocean of your interstitial fluid. There's a gentle wave of cellular undulation. Now you might experience it as an electrified throb, like a radiating energy. And some of you will be listening for that undulating wave of cellular breath, for that vibrational throb beneath lung breath, beneath blood, a delightful shimmer of life. The cells giddy, the membranes giddy with their being here. And some of you might be dropped deep into zygote consciousness. Maybe even more like egg consciousness. The memory of that lives in all of your cells, and as you drop into the cells, which is really doing nothing in particular, just letting them be invited in through voice, attention, intention. But we invoke that still silent sea. We land either on the surface or in the depths of these trillions of still lakes, the cellular fluid. And so you might find yourself more in the stillness, more in the vibration, or maybe you have both. I am a throb and a tremor. Oh, sacred cell, halo of sun, crown of life, still silent sea. I carry you into the morning, and we tremble at the possibility of such peace. Did you know there could be peace like this? Softly breathing a membrane, pressing against a membrane. Silence, bursting with desire, brimming with a charge, life that electrifies boundary. While inside the lake barely moves, a radiant paradise inside, silence radiating, a penumbra to eclipse all thought. And over the next 10 minutes or so, listen to the knowing the knowing beneath the narrative of your mind. And listen for a moment where perhaps the cells want to feel themselves in movement, or the cells want to write or draw. And wait for the inner prompting, the inner brightening, the inner knowing of what wants to happen next on the deepest level. And for some of you, it will be stillness and being just in that watery wait. It's as we try to move out of the cellular mind that we sometimes realize how deep in it we really are. So take all the time. You've got 10 minutes to just listen and see. See what wants to rise up out of the depths. Words, images, memories, insights. And at some point, if you feel the desire to move or write or draw or dance, I know that you can. But really staying in your process, letting the process continue to emerge and reveal itself. And with your transitions, when they come, if they come, including moments of pause. So you can turn back in and listen to how those movements or streaming of words or the drawing of image, how then that is creating a response on the cellular level. Noticing what you notice. Having attained the great boon of human birth, do not waste a single moment. Having attained the great boon of human birth, do not waste a single moment. Remembering that you chose to be here, or adopting the perspective that you chose to be here and how fulfilling that can be, how much awe and wonder that can inspire in our days, how that can pull us out of arguing with life and to celebrate your being here, celebrate the great mystery and the great chance of you being here to experience all of this. remember that the single cell you knew how to create the trillions of cells that you have become and that you are continuously becoming, dissolving, creating, dissolving, creating. On that microcosmic level, the cells are dying, new cells are being born all the time. From one stretch of time to another, you are composed of entirely different cells, an entirely different organism. It is natural for you to shed and transform, to continuously shed and transform. That is your nature. And so as you unravel another layer, let go of another identity, dissolve another story about yourself, you make space for what you are becoming. And there is a deep knowing that knows how to become. You don't have to make it happen. Just nurture your process. Create the conditions for curiosity and compassion. And continue to become your most radiant self. Continue to become the silence radiating outwards. The silence and the storm, the beauty and the terror, the water and the membrane, the dissolution and the becoming. Please take your time, move slowly, stay in the mind of the cells, write, draw, and delight in the rest of your day.